13 points in 33 seconds to steal a win. Most people couldn't even do that in a video game. But the zone in which Tracy McGrady found himself on December 9, 2004 might not even be as improbable as the sequence of events that landed him there to begin with. This episode of Quick Work is presented by Tissot Watches. T-Mac was a first ballot Hall of Famer even without the chip he said he would have won had he played with Shaq. This video was not a deep dive into ring culture. T-Mac never made it out of the first round of the playoffs as a rotation player, but his teammates had a whole lot to do with that. In 6 playoff runs between 2001 and 2008, he averaged 30 points, 7 boards, and 7 assists. If you want to get nerdier, T-Mac's career box plus minus in the postseason is 8th best all time. It's not like he disappeared under the brightest lights.
Here comes McGrady. Oh, he just sucked the gravity right out of the building.
No one is arguing the stakes for a regular season game in December reached playoff intensity. But the way he put the team on his back that night is rare enough we should remember it well. To do that, we gotta dig into how he became that guy. The guy who's still this cool more than 20 years later.
So 24, what you was doing at 24?
Average was 30.
Before he became a superstar in Orlando, even before he was flying through the air with his cousin in Toronto, T-Mac rose from outside the top 500 recruits to the 9th pick in the NBA draft out of high school in the space of a year. And he could have gone even higher, to the defending champion Bulls.
Jerry Krause was trying to make a trade for me that night and Scottie Pippen. They brought me in for a secret meeting. Yes.
You can't make this type of leap without taking over any gym you find yourself in, like he did at the 1996 ABCD camp. T-Mac wasn't the case of a prospect coasting off athleticism alone. He came into the league with a jumper, court vision, and as much natural talent in all facets of the game as his future coach Jeff Van Gundy had ever seen. His first coach, Darrell Walker, was less impressed. He told the rookie he'd be out of the league in 3 years if he didn't practice harder and take the game more seriously, leading to sporadic playing time. The perception that his work ethic was lacking follows McGrady around to this day. He's always quick to smack it down, but he admits he hated practice. He was laid back both in personality and play style. So smooth and fluid at an underlisted 6'8" that you couldn't always tell if he'd fully woken up from those long naps he loved so much. His game was in a mode of a fan favorite who sold a lot of signature shoes, but he was far from an ISO scorer who offered nothing else. When Butch Carter took over as coach 50 games into his rookie season, Carter revamped McGrady's training regimen, emphasizing his shooting. T-Mac changed his diet, bulked up in the weight room, and hit the offensive glass hard. But what the Raptors needed from him most was to guard the opposing team's best player. Getting stops is what first let his confidence blossom, which charged up his development on both ends. As a 20-year-old, he was the East's best sixth man.
I don't know, he just doesn't look like a happy kid.
Well, maybe reading too much of what a lot of the papers around the country are speculating on what he's going to be doing next season.
Probably could have went to Chicago and put up a lot of shots, put up some numbers, but individually, it's not all about that. I'm all for the team, and I felt Orlando would be a better fit for me.
After a sign and trade to his hometown Magic, the kid who grew up idolizing Penny Hardaway immediately became an all-star and most improved player winner. Then came 2 straight seasons of first-team All-NBA honors and top 4 MVP finishes, followed by a second-team nod and his second straight scoring title. That's everything that was running through T-Mac's head when asked what he was up to at age 24. Despite his individual brilliance, those Magic rosters were underwhelming.
Everybody around the NBA has 2 or 3 max players on their team. If I don't go out and do what I do, we don't win. We don't make it to the playoffs. We probably don't even win 30 games, but I'm selfish. Whoever said that, more power to you. If that's how you feel about me, you don't know what the hell you talking about.
They finished last in the NBA at 21-61 in 03-04. He'd only suited up with Grant Hill, envisioned as his All-NBA running mate, in 46 total games over 4 seasons. McGrady requested a trade, eyeing up an ascending Houston Rockets team anchored by Yao Ming. About a month after T-Mac's 25th birthday, he got his wish and landed in H-Town.
Come on, man. Y'all gonna make me get too emotional up here. I appreciate the love. I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm looking for great things.
2004-05 would be the first and unfortunately last truly healthy season for Houston's new duo. But first they had to learn how to play together. Coach Van Gundy told McGrady another scoring title wasn't in his future. There was a 7'6" all-star center who needed the ball inside. McGrady was already a respected passer at this point, but it was still an adjustment to defer and play at a pace significantly slower than the Magic did. Houston got off to a 6-11 start, with McGrady scoring 25-plus points in just 4 of the 15 games he played in, but he hadn't forgotten how to take over. In an overtime loss to the Mavs on December 2nd, he dropped 48 points to go along with 9 assists. 2 days later, he hit a late go-ahead basket to beat the Sixers, but those opponents weren't the San Antonio Spurs, who would win that season's NBA championship. They arrived in Houston with a 16-4 mark, having won their last 7 matchups against the Rockets. Guarded by one of the best and craftiest perimeter defenders ever in Bruce Bowen, McGrady struggled, as did pretty much everyone who played in this game. Both of these defenses were stingy, but neither offense was normally this bad. By the fourth quarter, T-Mac had grinded his way to 20 points on 8 for 25 shooting, including just 1 for 8 from 3, but this game stayed close thanks to Yao efficiently matching Tim Duncan's scoring. Then, a 15-2 run helped stretch the Spurs' lead from 2 points with about 5 minutes left to 11 within 2 minutes. From there, it was bricks, air balls, a long, sad pan down the Rockets' bench, and a couple quick points that looked like they'd be meaningless. Everybody locked in after a near turnover, but an intentional foul made it an 8-point game with 44 seconds left. T-Mac finally shook Bowen off to nail a 3 on the switch. 5-point game. 2 free throws got it back to 7, but this and one over Duncan on the other end changed everything. T-Mac later said he knew he wasn't missing another shot after this one went down. The only question was whether there'd be enough time. This wasn't a matter of the Spurs missing clutch free throws. It's just that 3 is worth more than 2, and T-Mac didn't even care if Bowen was in his grill now.
McGrady over Bowen for 3. Yes! Yes! Tracy McGrady!
Up 2 with 11.2 seconds left, the Spurs found Devin Brown on the inbound. He'd been a rare offensive bright spot with 20 points off the bench, but not on this play. And look who came away with the ball.
Here comes McGrady. No timeouts remaining. McGrady for the win. Yes! 1.7 to go. San Antonio with no timeout. Here's Parker, and the Rockets steal a game from the Spurs. Tracy McGrady with an incredible performance down the stretch.
It's the sort of moment that every Rockets fan of that era will say they witnessed live, regardless of the truth.
For all those fans that left, gosh, y'all missed a great game.
The sort of moment that inspires mythical commercials, an enduring YouTube classic uploaded pretty much as soon as the platform existed. And much later, a signature challenge in NBA 2K that, it bears repeating, is hard to do even with a controller in your hand. So how did T-Mac celebrate? Well, it's not good for the laziness narrative, but he hit the weights. This game didn't fix the Rockets overnight, but they did go 41-20 the rest of the season. All it amounted to was a 40-point Game 7 loss to the Mavericks in the first round. Then the injuries start to pile up. T-Mac's back and later his knee, various lower body injuries for Yao. There was the improbable 22-game Rockets win streak in 2008 T-Mac led, but in a lot of ways, 13-33 represented the height of possibility for this Houston team. It might have been an out-of-body experience for McGrady, but it wasn't luck. He knew to get to that left wing to launch the game winner, the spot he both attempted and made more threes than anywhere in his career, a career that shouldn't be distilled down to just this one unbelievable performance. Kobe Bryant called him his toughest matchup. Nikola Jokic and Jimmy Butler are among the stars who consider him their favorite player. His echoes are clear in the modern game, where he might have scored even more prolifically. Sure, he didn't like practice. Maybe he even liked baseball more than hoops. That's all part of what makes his whole career just as singular as what he did to the Spurs. This episode of Quick Work is presented by TISO, the official timekeeper of the NBA. Everyone gets 24.